Thank you all for being here. This morning we're going to explore the nature of waking up and clearing up. These, one might say, two paths that are woven together. Sometimes I teach them in three paths: waking up, clearing up, and growing up. And it's just a frame. It's just a frame for us to explore this being human in this lifetime of 10,000 joys and 10,000 sorrows. So I'm so glad each of you are here with me this morning. I'm in my backyard in Kensington, Maryland, and I'm just so grateful for the old trees that are over here in this part of Maryland, giving me shade in these warm days. So we're sitting underneath the trees, and for me, nature is so grounding. So having the trees kind of holding the room this morning, and having the birds sing their own Dharma talk is what I'm feeling really joyful about. So let's start with meditation. I invite you to find a way to sit that is comfortable, where you feel supported and relaxed. That's a bodhisattva warrior, where the spine is alert and there's a softening in the muscles, in the fascia, in the tissue. So we're alert and present and not tight, not straining. We practice that so we can carry that into the world. We can be present and strong and lead in the world with a soft front. Strong back, soft front. So that's how we begin. Just bringing awareness into the body. Feeling your body sitting, standing, laying on the grass if you're outside. Just bringing full awareness into the body. Allowing everything to be just as it is. We ease into the body. We practice softening and kindness from the very beginning of the meditation, easing into the body. Bringing awareness to the body being breathed. Noticing the in-breath and the out-breath. Breathing in, I'm aware of breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware of breathing out. In, out. Here, now. From tending to the breath, which gives the mind a single point of focus, we now widen the aperture just a little, taking in the whole body, feeling the whole body breathing. Chest rising and falling. Abdomen rising and falling. Air coming in, nourishing all the cells in the body. Body being breathed. Widening the aperture a little bit more. Noticing the life that's right here. Almost as if you're a bird sitting on a branch overhead. Or someone in the balcony of a theater a little further away. Seeing the life that's right here, today, this moment. Witnessing awareness, this life, right here, fully alive. Now bringing the conscious, aware lens of seeing this very life, bringing it back in closer, back to this body, breathing, heart beating, thoughts coming and going, emotions rising and falling, bringing it in a little closer, even further into the heart area. Breathing in and out of the heart space. The heart is fresh as a flower, gently opening, closing, opening, breathing through the heart. Recognizing the tenderness of it all. Being aware of the body as a whole. Body like mountain. Strong, stable, resilient. And the tender heart, heart like flower, fresh, soft, welcoming. Feeling the feet, the stability of the floor, the earth beneath us. This is how we ground in the present moment, bringing attention to the earth, to stability. We are supported. On this planet, in this body, body like mountain. and bringing awareness to the tenderness of this human experience. Heart like flower. Wanting to open, to be seen, to be loved, wanting to love. It sometimes gets protected, defended, contracted. So we gently breathe in and out of the heart this morning. In this beautiful Sangha, this garden of flowers that we breathe in together. The heart can feel it's a safe place to gently open. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. Resting attention on the breath. Bringing the light of awareness back to the heart space, returning again and again. Inviting the body to soften, shoulders relaxing, jaw loosening. Softening into this moment. Allowing it to be just as it is. Now we'll widen our aperture again for a moment, scanning your life, the last few days, week, and looking for a situation or role or exchange, a conversation that felt really hard, where you felt agitated, irritated, angry, hurt, or confused, where the human being got hooked. And just noticing that, just feeling, stepping into that situation, that scene, courageously. Noticing what arises. Maybe somebody said something to you. Maybe you saw something on the news. Maybe you forgot something or let yourself down. Might have been a moment of overwhelm. Or a moment of looking for meaning, bewilderment. Just noticing it, zooming into that scene. Recognizing that this is a moment of suffering. As we practiced widening the aperture, moving up to the branch like a bird, witnessing this experience, we do that here. As a mother holds a crying baby, we just hold that moment in wider awareness, tenderness. the arm of mindfulness, the arm of compassion, holding that moment, holding you, allowing it to be just as it is, not trying to fix it, advise it, solve it, shame it away. Just here we are again. Deepening attention. Where do you feel that in the body? A heaviness in the chest or something in the belly? The body is the experiencer of life. Deepening attention into the body, moving out of the thinking mind. Dear one, I'm here. Show me where it hurts. Deepening the inquiry. What's underneath that? That fear, that inner critic talk, that shame. Just opening the doorway to the deepest truth and truths that are in your life. What wants to be seen or felt? What wants to be met with loving awareness, kindness, compassion, instead of the old patterns that keep us trapped? Just inviting that part to come into the light. Come here, dear one. And then surrounding it with love. Know that each part of you, each pattern, each emotion, all of you is held by a larger field, a field of loving awareness, God, the Source, Mother Gaia, Mother Mary, Brahman. It doesn't matter what name we use. The universal truth is this field of love is holding you. And when we bring things into the light, in the body, in the breath, with an open heart, we can allow things to transmute, to evolve, to change, to heal. And we do that not alone, but in a community, in a sangha. Feeling the others here right now, shoulder to shoulder with you, in a clearing. Each of us meeting ourselves with tenderness, kindness. Awakening, welcoming pain and suffering, hurt parts of ourselves to come forward. These go hand in hand. Awakening, waking up, clearing up, and growing up. Learning the practices and ways, being brave enough to do both together. Putting a hand on the heart, the other on the hara, the belly, just below the belly button, the abdomen. and breathing here. Sending messages of love and kindness inward. Hello, dear one. I see you. I'm here for you. I'm listening. You're not the only one that has moments of anger or shame, overwhelm, feeling not enough, feeling like a victim, falling into judgment of others. This is part of the human experience. I see you. This is our shared humanity. Feeling the body like mountain, strong enough to hold it. Heart like fresh flower. And as we practice, the mind becomes clear water, rinsing it all clean. The rain of practice. It's okay, sweetheart, you say inwardly. Tell me where it hurts. Tell me what you need right now. I've got you. I'm right here. You might put the hand that's on the abdomen on top of the hand that's on the heart. And invite in whoever in your life, still on the planet, or if they've left it, invite them in now. For me, it's my grandmother's hand. I feel it on top of mine. Her love pouring into me right now. Sending love inward. Hello, sweet, she would say. Dear Laurie Jane, I've got you. So just deepening that river of love pouring into the heart, cleansing, healing, nourishing. You might envision hands of friends here in the Sangha on your heart. You might envision hands on your back. I like to invite us to envision that we're sitting in a circle right now, this moment. One hand on our heart, one hand on the back of someone next to us. This is representing the truth of our interbeing. You're not alone. Sending messages of metta, loving kindness. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be safe and protected. May you be healthy and strong. And may you know that you are love. May you live with ease. Sending and receiving. Bringing attention back to breathing when you're ready. Feeling the body breathe. Hearing the birds. rise and fall of the abdomen, heart beating, all the signs of vitality and aliveness. This miracle of being alive. It's a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in this broken world. Words of Mary Oliver. Taking a few more closing breaths. Deep inhale. Long, deep exhale. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Namaste. Just allowing that meditation to linger for just a minute. Ooh. And just sensing into what's here. The tenderness of just being here together. We'll move into an exploration together, a talk, and then at about 25 minutes after the hour we'll have movement, I believe. Checking in on how everyone's doing in their bodies, but for now just feeling what's here. It might be that you're thirsty. It might be that you touched a deep, deep, tender part. It might be that you want to stand and twist. All of it is welcome. Just bringing that mindful awareness to what's here. Putting anything in the chat that you'd like to share, any words, any insights, anything you want to share with the group. We want to hear from you. And then I'm going to give everyone a moment just to stand and stretch the body. I know I need that. Doing a twist. Okay. Whew. Long hair gets hot on summer days. So come on back. I'm so happy to be with you. Be with you on this morning. And explore this question of what are we doing here? Just that. We're going easy this morning. I had a client here on Monday of the beginning of last week, 6 days ago. And he's a very successful person by worldly measures. Started 4 companies, has this big house, a lake house, a fast car, lovely wife, 2 kids. And he meditates every morning for half an hour. Very disciplined, never misses a day. And he's an intermittent faster, and he's really healthy, eats well, exercises, and he's just doing all the right things. He's just disciplined and focused and committed, dedicated. And he's asking himself, what's it all for? What is this about? And how come I still often feel lost or angry or just so much despair, like major despair. And he keeps trying harder, zero distractions in meditation, or, taking on the next exercise program, doing the next level of nutrition. And all of those are important. These are what I call the pillars of well-being. I was a senior fellow at the Center for the Advancement of Well-Being in Virginia and at George Mason University, and we studied these pillars of well-being, and they really matter, and they really contribute to our level of peace and contentment and freedom. Another pillar is community. He invites people over, he organizes trips with old friends, he's doing it all. And what we started to discover in our work together is that there was one piece that he hadn't quite stepped into yet, one element on the path to freedom. I'll say element. I often kind of think of it as two tracks. So we have this path of waking up, this path of discovering our innate Buddha nature, our bodhisattva nature, our true nature. And each one of us is born with that. And through meditation, through community with our Sangha, through reading beautiful books, which I do have all around me right now. I love to come out early on Sunday mornings and sit with my favorite teachers here through these books and read. And so we have the teachings, that's the Dharma, we have the Sangha, we have our Buddha nature. And this is supporting us in waking up. And what does waking up even mean? It's simply and sometimes hard to grasp or hard to reach. It's simply that present moment awareness. No filters, no concepts and frameworks in the way. Actually, no lists, no 4 of this and 8 of that. Just pure awake awareness into this direct experience right here. What I'm feeling, breeze on the cheek, what's in the heart. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be anger, and we're awake to it. So the path of waking up is a path that all of us here are walking together. And it's a path to freedom. And there's another path that goes alongside of it. And this is just one way of looking at it. I can tell this in different ways. We could say it's all one path, but I find it useful to think about 2 paths. And sometimes I do 3. So I want your feedback on if you like 2 paths or 3 paths. As I'm also, thinking about writing my next book, and this will be the core of it. But one path is the waking up, and one path is the clearing up. And this is bringing that awake awareness, that loving kindness, bringing it inwardly and noticing where it is that we get hooked. What is it that keeps triggering us? Or what are the truths of our lives that we've lived in the past or that we're living now that become the clay over the gold Buddha, that become, Ram Dass talks to us about polishing the mirror. When we are fully reflecting in our clear mirror, that's our awake awareness. When the mirror gets kind of covered over, that's what we're talking about here, cleaning the mirror, clearing up. And the kinds of things that one would encounter, one would discover in the path of clearing up are things like attachment wounds. You may be familiar with the attachment theory that happens when we're very little, and it depends on kind of the presence and awareness and attention of our caregivers. And do we become somebody who's like securely attached in a relationship, or are we someone that that is anxious? Always needs a quick call back, a quick response on the text, needs to know where other people are, can easily feel like they got left out of something or they don't belong. So that's an insecure pattern. We have a secure pattern. And then we have, these are the basic three, there's a few more, and we have an avoidant pattern where we get anxious actually, but instead of clinging, we lean away. We go isolate, we go take a walk by ourselves, we go a little less communicative for a few days, so there's an avoidant pattern. That's just one example of what we can discover and work with on the path of clearing up. We start to learn the conditioning, and that's just simply when we're humans, what are the experiences that have happened to us that then created kind of a strategy to help us get through that difficult moment or that difficult phase of our life or that challenging parent or sibling or whatever it may be. So we have all that in there, and so we can think of us as the golden light here, the waking up, is seeing our true Buddha nature. And then we've got these kind of embedded, I think of them, it's like a density, like when we're fully alive and awake, we're shining in a very light, effervescent way. And when we're back in the conditioned body, in the heaviness, in the activation and all of that, it's like this dense heaviness. And in my mind, I've never even heard anyone say this, but I always think of like that there's like these like dense matters, these balls or something, and they're in my body in different places. And when I can clear, when I can surround my body and my heart with enough non-judgmental awareness, which is the definition of mindfulness, non-judgmental awareness, self-compassion, loving kindness, then these things can feel safe enough and start to dislodge. And there are many ways that we do that. Many ways we can create those conditions. But I want to pause here for a moment. I want to pause in this description of clearing up and just see, I'll look in the chat and just see if there's any comments or questions. Some beautiful welcoming, a new person. Maybe a reflection here is seeing yourself as the awake, loving, luminous bodhisattva, this beautiful being of light. It's actually love. You are love. Just seeing all of that, and then seeing that inside this human being. The human being that you are, the skin and the eyes and the bones and the aches and pains and the joy of running and skipping and doing a log roll down a hill. I don't know if you've done one of those in a while, and just kind of thinking about both of that, the luminosity and the density, and just feeling into this life, this body, and asking the question from Ruby Sales, where does it hurt? You might think of how you are in relationships. Are you secure, feeling ease, receiving? ease in giving love? Or are you more anxious and worried? Some of us have abandonment wounds, and they show up as this anxious kind of, when will I see you again? When are you coming home? When will we get together again for coffee? But not in an easy, secure way, in an anxious way. So just dropping into that inquiry. It's the wise, loving, awake you that's holding that inquiry. Where does it hurt? What are the patterns that can pull you under? Maybe it's that you have a comparing mind, and you're often looking at a situation or someone else and thinking, oh, they have it so easy. Why don't I have a sister like that? Or a bank account like that? Or health like that in the body? Comparing mind, or comparing with your own past experiences or abilities. It's a sure path to suffering. Some of us have a victim mind. This happened to me. Why did this happen to me? How come I had to lose both of my brothers and my parents at a young age? Why me? Or why him? We even turn that outwardly. So just bringing that light of awareness inside for a moment, because this is where it all begins. This is where it begins, where we take awakening, becoming more conscious, aware, and free, and wrap it around this human being that's right here. This human being makes me just right into my mind. It came Rumi's poem, Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every day a new visitor. And so the question is, and you may remember, it's like all the different emotions are coming through the door. Shame, anger, fear, loneliness. And we just open the door and we say, come on in. Who's opening the door? That's the question. Who's opening the door at the guest house? This is your conscious, awake awareness. This is the waking up. The waking up is opening the door to all of it. Everything is welcome. Everything belongs. Yes, this is here now. And so we open and we allow. We open and allow. We soften. We started this morning's meditation with a practice of softening, easing in to the present moment, meeting this moment with tender, welcoming acceptance. We practice that coming into meditation. We're just coming in to do some breathing. But little did you know, we were practicing easing the felt embodied capacity to meet life with curiosity and compassion. We practice that in meditation. We practice that in meditation to be awake and welcome what's difficult and hold it. Hold what's difficult, or the shame, or the inner critic, or the angry outburst. Whatever happens, we hold this in a wider embrace of awake awareness, loving kindness. We practice in meditation so that we can then do it in daily life 2 hours from now, or on a regular Tuesday, as the saying goes, or, marching in protest, or going home and being with family members and having old wounds and patterns get touched and triggered. We practice in meditation the waking up and the clearing up, because when we bring awake awareness to what hurts, to the patterns, to the conditioning, they can slowly begin to unburden. They slowly begin to kind of come out in the light, like a fern unfurling. And they come out. They look around. They realize, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. I'm not home at my dinner table when I was in 6th grade. I'm not in high school in the gym. I'm not in a marriage that was painful. We look around, that old embedded wound comes out, and it's under the clear blue sky of awake awareness, and we hold it. These are how these paths of waking up and clearing up work. They work together. And you can think of them as one path. You can think of them as two. For me, as a spiritual teacher and coach, it's helpful, I find, for my students, my clients, and so on, my retreats, to share them as two, because then we can deepen in our skills and understanding in those. I can bring in the words of being in the awake awareness and presence. We're being. I'm being right here. It's immediate. There's an immediacy to accessing the field of awareness. It is already always here. That's the name of my Substack. Already always. It is immediate, this awakened awareness. And then we have this clearing, the clearing up. That's a developmental path. One might say contemplative wisdom or Buddhism, where that meets psychotherapy. We're awake and we're clearing. Awake and clearing. And it's a beautiful dance, because they feed each other. The more awake we are, the more we're able to see clearly what's really going on. I had a dream last summer. It was actually end of summer when I moved out of the place in Annapolis that I've done so many of these live talks from. I love that little cottage so much, and in the front yard, but I would also often teach with this big giant willow tree, this willow oak behind me. I called her Luna. And I was so sad to leave Luna. And I just became very aware of kind of the permanence. It feels like she's not permanent forever, but the strength and kindness and welcoming big branches that she extends of whatever life is bringing. And that's what we're doing here in this waking up and clearing up. We're entering a path of learning how to recognize what covers over our mirror that keeps us from accessing joy and seeing beauty and feeling the sense of absolute awe that we're even alive at all. And so we learn how to increase our awareness. And so not only we're feeling it in a pure samadhi way, a full immersive way. Just a moment. Allergies. But we're also able to bring that into the tender life that's right here, the waking up and clearing up. And I often talk about growing up, which is kind of the third one. And that, maybe for some people, they feel like, don't tell me to grow up. That feels very patronizing. But for me, the growing up is recognizing that I'll speak for me, I've seen it with many of my students, is learning the skills and learning skillful means, skillful ways, right speech, right action, learning how to meet the moment with wisdom, and learning how to not, like, to recognize early on, like the early warning lights in a car, when my human body and my conditioned body and conditioned mind is getting triggered. So the more we practice, the more we clear, we start to grow. We developmentally grow up. We learn ways of being alive that allows us to rest with more equanimity, more peace, to ride the waves, right? That, I think, was it Jack Kornfield or who gets credit with that wonderful saying of, we're not going under the waves, we're learning how to surf. And so that's the growing up, is learning how to surf. So what we're doing here is we're waking up and we're clearing up and we're growing up, and we're doing it together in Sangha. We're doing that hand in hand. We're teaching each other. And the beautiful thing about Sangha and spiritual friends is that we understand kind of what we're all here to do. And with tenderness, when we have intimate friendships, intimate relationships, that we're really close, we really recognize each other, we can give each other that gentle reflection when we're kind of spiraling into a blind spot, or, feeling like a victim or feeling lost. We can kind of, sometimes it's hard to see ourselves, and in a Sangha, in a community, we can help each other with that in a very skillful way. Because in the clearing up, the parts of us that are not seen, that pull us under the waves, under the water, that pull us into despair, they obscure the freedom that's available with awakening. I want to share a poem that I love so much from Mark Nepo. It's a poem that captures that all of this is here. The beauty and the sorrow, the waking up, the conditioning, the pain, all of it is here. Adrift by Mark Nepo. Everything is beautiful, and I am so sad. This is how the heart makes a duet of wonder and grief. The light spraying through the lace of the fern is as delicate as the fibers of memory forming their web around the knot in my throat. The breeze that makes the birds move from branch to branch, as this ache makes me look for those I've lost in the next room, the next song, in the laugh of the next stranger. In the very center, under it all, what we have that no one can take away, and all that we've lost, face each other. It is there that I'm adrift, feeling punctured by a holiness that exists inside everything. I am so sad, and everything is beautiful. So I invite us to take this idea of all of it existing, the immediate, direct awareness, the beauty that's here, the aliveness, the incredible joy at the miracle of being alive and being alive together, as Thich Nhat Hanh says. We are alive together in this space and time. Wow, we're so lucky. We have that, and then we have the truth of clearing up pain, trauma, hurt, sadness, loss and grief, blame and shame. So we hold those together. And as we practice and things are transmuted, as we walk together in community and Sangha, we start to grow up. We start to grow and grow our capacity to hold it all, to say that everything is beautiful and I am so sad, that expands. And we do that together. I wish for you a week where you are noticing with tenderness those moments, where you're able to meet yourself with kindness, with self-compassion, and turn that loving heart outward to others, seeing that we're all just walking each other home. Thank you for being here.